Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. This is a very late, actually on the day of the match, a late match preview. Yeah, Everton against Tottenham, a humongous game um, for Everton yet again. A lot more added onto it now because of the, well, the news we've heard in the past few days. Um, Everything to do with Everton's financial um, issues, and yeah, a lot has been stated about the 2021 season. um, I think we're still 40 million or something in debt. I read it. I read it the other day. I was going to do a separate video about it, but I've been absolutely hammered in work. Um, I just haven't had the energy to talk about depressive Everton news, to be honest. Regardless of me doing a video or not, like, it's whatever financial statements come out about Everton, whatever stories come out about the Premier League, kind of punishing us for not meeting their targets and what they expect, and getting a certain amount of revenue and getting something back. We've even sold many players for over 120 million, like for overall, like Gordon, Richarlison, and I think there's Moyes Ken. That's like 120 million odd. That shows how poor the investment has been in the past 5 or 6 years. And we keep forgetting as well. And to be honest, I forget. We've sacked many managers who were still on long contracts, or obviously had a year or so maybe as well remaining on their contracts, and we've paid them off. I think there's a little headline that we paid Benitez and his staff 10.5 million altogether, for a job that has ultimately put us in a, well, it's not just Benitez, but it was many other factors, obviously. But yeah, the job he did, I've never seen us derail so much in my life in a Premier League season and in football ever. And we've continued that onto this season, even though there's been a few more positives, if you could say. Even though we're lying at 18th at the moment, and yeah, um, it worries me now. Furthermore, of if we do go down, what are we? This potential is that we just couldn't financially cope, and we could drop down another league. We could even go bankrupt. We could. I don't even know. The club could not exist anymore. All this, it's just mental. And with this game against Tottenham, it's like, like you just. I was up for it, and it's like, well, what if now? What, at the end of the day, I think most. I mean, it's added on pressure for us to stay in the league now, financially. We have to. We have to start. Maybe it's the start of having to sell these players we don't want to sell, just to financially help us again. Make a big profit potentially on Pickford. Um, I don't want him to leave. Of course, he's just signed a contract. He's happy here. But someone puts a big offer for him. I think we bought him for 30 million. If we make about 30-40 million profit on him, it's all good in that sense for that side of the club. But we shouldn't have to be in a position where we've been taken over 5, 6, 7 years ago, and now the only way we're going to stay afloat in a sense is selling our big assets. Big assets. Um, it's disgusting, but it's the harsh brutality of not doing and dealing with your finances in the correct way. even though Everton have come out with a statement that they're surprised by it, and they've always kind of worked alongside the Premier League to make sure they are complying with the regulations and whatnot. But yeah, if that's the worst case scenario, we're gonna have to sell our big assets, and it's no one's bigger than the club. Um, no players bigger than the club, so we just have to start off again and just try and build a better, compact, overall team than just having a few stars like Pickford and whatnot. Well, I don't really know if you have anyone else, to be honest, who we could sell for a lot of money. Um, yeah, onto the game. I'm sorry for the little. I just wanted to do a little quick snippet on the financial issues we're having at the moment, or further financial issues. Um, but yeah, this game against Tottenham, it just feels like there's so much more on it now. Um, we've seen results. We've got some decent results there, but there's a lot of teams playing against each other in the bottom half. The likes of Crystal Palace. Sorry, not Crystal Palace. They play Fulham. Like West Ham, Southampton, Leicester against Bournemouth, I think it was. And teams have come out with a win where obviously best case scenario is these teams are picking up a point. Yeah, this is obviously we know the news about Conte. There's been so many sackings this weekend. I've just realised Potter's gone today or yesterday. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm doing this. Potter gone yesterday and Rodgers in like a space of an hour or two. It's crazy. Um, and yeah, obviously Conte left earlier this week with I think Scalani or something. I don't know who he is. The assistant for Tottenham. Bit of a strange decision. Maybe Conte was really making it hostile, but he shouldn't be because you're the manager. You're supposed to manage things, even though when things are not looking rosy and how you want them to be. You can't. If that's the case, he's made the place hostile and he's gone against a few players and whatnot. Even though you've seen in his match day, post match interviews that he's slated the players, and sometimes I feel like that does need to happen, but maybe the way you've come across it just wasn't great. Um, and this is the thing with Tottenham, they could get, it's not even a new manager bounce, but they could have a little bounce because a lot of players might have not liked him and the way it just didn't suit the Tottenham players how he wanted them to play. And they might have a bit more freedom and they might absolutely fucking destroy us. I really hope they don't. It could either go one way or the other. And I know you can say that in any game of football, but I think that really sums it up with this match. I think, regardless, we're going to put in 100%, of course, because we're playing at Goodison. The fans are going to be really up for it. It's a night game. It's on a Monday. I just think make it fucking hard for Tottenham. Be all over them. Don't give them an inch. Listen, if quality beats us, quality beats us. And sometimes in football, you just got to hold your head up and go, that's where they are. I mean, they should be better than what they've done this season. It was a bit odd before Newcastle beat United yesterday that Tottenham was in fourth place. Thinking, fuck me, like other teams around them, you could say they've had good, promising seasons, but Tottenham have been a bit hit and miss. But it's their chance to pressure United and Newcastle for that fourth place, and obviously a few teams underneath who I don't think. I never could say no to obviously Liverpool because I know even though they lost 4-1 against City, they could have a little run at the end of the season. Some players come back and you just don't know. But there's so much competition for that top four, and I think Tottenham now without a manager, and it could go completely lopsided for them. This I don't know. This bloke is really. I don't think he's ever managed the team. Obviously, assistant manager, you have a lot to say and stuff. You have a big input on what goes on, and maybe they respond well to him. Who knows? But Tottenham are a good team anyway. And I'm just hoping they're going to have a day off and we can fucking absolutely annihilate them everywhere, even though we haven't got the players to do that. But to do what we have been doing since Sean Dyche come in has just been hard work and not, I wouldn't say dirty, but just aggressive in our play and just make it hard for them, and that's what Goodison should be. And I think Dyche is trying to make it in a fortress in a way, make it like a fortress in a way. And yeah, there's no other way to go about with the game. Arguments of putting Ellis Sims at top, I would not to me. I still think we need to probably have a very similar team that we played against Chelsea. I really wouldn't change that much. But different games, different opposition. You might stick Allison's at top for a bit more of a presence. But ideally for me, I'd like him to gradually come into the team. But it might give him a boost of confidence, and he could have been extra good in training this week. And Dyche is looking at him going, you know what? All he needed was a goal to take that pressure off him, and this kid could be flying. But yeah, that's up to Dyche. No new injury worries as well, which is great. And yeah, this is James Garner potentially could be back. Nathan Patterson had played for Scotland, so there's an argument that he could get a call. But obviously Coleman's been very, very good for us in the past number of months, I would say. So yeah, there's a lot of options, which is a nice change. And yeah, it's I feel like it's still going to be a very similar team, and he's going to gradually bring these players back. Um, I think, yeah, I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin's still. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin's returned to grass as they say, um, which shows it's a different type. And he said there's a different type of injury as well, which is not a surprise. And yeah, it just it's shit in it. Like, I don't even rate him that much, but he's just a presence and he's just a bit of a danger. Showing you know, you're more confident out of all of them to score. But I'm hoping Ellis Sims is going to be that change. It'd be fantastic if he put in a brilliant performance or scored again. It'll be great. It'll just give us a boost of confidence that we can trust someone else other than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But Damari Gray's been very good. Very a nuisance. I think that's what he has to be when he's playing up front. Which Alisson isn't, so maybe he'll go for that just to go and suit the style of our play, which we like to do at home. We like to be on top of it basically. And I don't think you're going to get that with Alisson. I think Alisson is kind of our weight in a sorry. Ellison's like our weight in the box. I'll kind of maybe come out a little bit and just try and get involved, but he's more of a poacher, I could say, at the moment. You know, he needs more to develop his game. He just doesn't have that kind of agility and whatnot to, I think, to be that type of striker. I think he's kind of just an instinct striker, maybe, one-on-one. But, you know, with the goal against Chelsea, he took it really well. You know, gone past Koulibaly like it wasn't there and slotted it in. It was a great goal, but I still think he'll put Demarai Gray up top. And yeah, I think it's gonna be the same team. I can't see him making many changes. Hopefully, the bench with the additions of Patterson and Garner, it just looks a lot more full, a lot more of a team now. I'd love to see James Garner come on and do something, just something to give me a bit of hope about him. Another option. But yeah, it's a tough game. Who can call it? I wouldn't know a prediction for this one, to be honest. Oh, it's hard to predict one, sorry. I'm going to say I'm going to go for the draw. Um, and I think we're going to be quite unlucky as well. I think we're going to play really well. And I don't think they're going to be too defensive, Tottenham. But I think they're going to be really solid defensively to keep it at a low draw, low scoring draw, 1-1. I think they're just going to play really well. Where I think we're going to be on top in the last second half of the second half. I think we're going to be putting pressure on them quite a lot, and I think they're going to handle it really well. And I think, yeah, it's going to end as a draw. But obviously, as an Evertonian, I love us to just absolutely smash a team for the change, or any win will do, to be honest. But just want something to boost my confidence about potentially us staying up. If we win, we get to about 13th, I think, on the table, 1 point behind Palace. Yeah, big game. Big game. We're sitting at 18th at the moment. If we lose this one, it's going to be, well, it still is going to be a bumpy ride. And I think teams at the bottom are picking up points. I don't know. I feel like a lot of teams are picking up points, and I'm just thinking, is it really? I feel like it's going to hit 40 points again. I think a lot of teams are going to start picking up points at the bottom. I think someone realise that they're just too good to be in the position they are, and they wake up and start picking up points. Yeah. And just another note, I love the idea of what Everton's done for the new stadium with the planks on the floor. I forgot the code. I've just said that wrong. I don't know. Basically, you get your name engraved into the floor. I'm so tired. There's a word for it, and I can't remember what it is. But yeah, it's a really good idea. Quite a lot of money. I think it ranges from 90 to 700 quid, something like that. It depends how many characters you put in and how big it is and whatnot. But yeah, very good idea for the Everton Stadium. Hard to get optimistic about it because of all the gloom and doom we're dealing with right now. If we win, the team is starting to me to looking like a better team already. If we win this game, like the record Dyche's had is when he's come in, it's been a lot more improved. It's not being drastically improved, and then you think, when are we going to start losing? And next season's going to be different. I like the gradual improvement. It's like step by step. It's not all guns and blazing and a complete changeover and whatnot, because I always worry that that's going to burn out. I like the gradual steps Dyche and this team's taken since he's come in, and yeah, I'm just hoping another home win for Everton. I think that will be 4 out of 5. I think if he does win this one at home. So yeah, let's buckle up and let's go for another 90 plus added on time ride again with this team. But wouldn't it be lovely not to be on the edge of our seats for the whole game? It'd be nice of us just to blow the team away, surprise them. But yeah, I'll see you all then. Up the Blues. And I'm just really hoping to get a bit of positivity after a tough week, you could say. But yeah, I'll see you all soon.